than I am.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, a big and furry bovine. Joining me is Mr. Moose.
Big
and we have
moose.
a very special guest in the chat room, WRX Chad. This guy, I haven't heard from him in ages, and it's wonderful to see people who were former followers of the podcast in way years back over the 25 years I've been doing this.
We're talking like the Obama era, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see people stop by and say, moo. Today's program is going to be about something that I hold near and dear to my heart. And people who've been watching over the course of 25 years have an idea of why I do this program, but I every so often I have to kind of re-explain myself, but using different examples. To me, the more time goes by, the more of a business, sports has become, and it isn't just for the sheer excitement of it all. It's money. And I want to apologize in advance. I'm having a lot of studio issues that I don't understand, and I am going to try to stream something, share my screen, which I'm going to try to do. And for some reason, I can't see what I'm sharing.
Yeah, well, I could see it, so it is there.
All right. If Chad, if you're sitting out there, if you can see this on your screen, then I guess that's all right, because I'm never going to see this.
I don't know whether it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, well, then I'm a happy camper. And is it full screen?
Yeah, I mean, we're off to the side as per normal.
Very, very fine. All right, that's what it's supposed to be, and this is a real sack of shit. All right. So here we go. What are sports to me? Why do I do this program?
Why is it that you come on the air 2 times a week? Why?
Well, I mean, and for 25 years, what is my fascination with sports? Because I complain about a lot of things, and I'm very opinionated about a lot of things. But there's one thing that I'm not at all opinionated about, and that's that the greatness of sports is not what you expect to happen, but the things that you don't expect to happen. And that's what makes these things worth watching. And they create memories, and they give you a feeling of feedback that you actually watched something happen, and you watched it happen live. And it isn't necessarily the things that people would expect. It isn't like Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. It isn't like that. That's right, Chad. It is a basketball video, so we are getting somewhere in this, which is meaningful to me. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, good. So I have this full screen now. Oh, but I have no controls now. I mean, I don't know what they've done to this product. I have no idea. Oh my God. Do make this stop, dear God. All right. So at any rate, wow.
Can you actually turn it on, this video?
Yeah, I'm going to turn it on in a minute.
Turn it on. Yeah.
Well, this is the meaning of sports to me, folks. It is what you never thought you could possibly be witnessing and seeing. And there were people who saw this happen in real time. And this perfectly expresses a totally insignificant game that nobody even cares who's playing, but you see this, and here we go. I think that I can share this. Let's go.
Well, if you take the banner down from Chad, that would help.
The banner from Chad. What banner from
the chat? The chat message that you got up is.
Oh. All right, so I just hid that. Okay, hid that. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
To Downey with 18.6 seconds. The free throw. No good. Rebound Morton. Tennessee's got another chance. Here comes Morton with 15 seconds across mid. Down to 12 seconds. Morton for three from straight on. Go! He got it!
Oh, wait.
21 seconds. Here comes Oswego. They don't have a timeout. With 7, with 6. Downey will drive. He'll lean. Scoop! He hit it! Oh, Downey with 3.4. Here's a long pass. Ahead to Baker. He'll chase it down. Lamp is up. It's no good. Morton will throw it in. He made it! He made it! Oh, you made it! I don't believe it! I don't believe it! I can't believe it! Tennessee up to Downey with 18.6 seconds to free throw. No good.
My God. I mean, I'm like watching this thing and saying, oh, that's just not possible. That's impossible. You could have played it out over a million times and it would never end that way ever again. And we're watching this however many goddamn years, decades later on the internet. But those people, the few sparse fans in the stands, they can go home and say, son, you're not going to believe what I just saw, to his grandkid, it's like, that was the most remarkable end to a game. And the players who played in the game, I mean, how do you describe that to somebody? That's what sports mean to me.
That's like a real Al Bundy moment, when he scored 4 touchdowns. That's whatever it was.
I mean, that's the beauty of sports. The beauty of sports is that you can, for the lack of a better expression, you live something vicariously through something that you may not even be an organic part of. And it's like, there in this game, it's just a high school game. There's no money on the line. Nobody bet on the game. There was no national televising of the game. It was none of that.
Yeah, you got a high school kid calling the game, up in the announcing.
Yeah, losing it, literally losing it, and brilliant stuff. And I could count so many things in my life that I've seen. And, it's one of the reasons why I'll never badmouth LeBron James. I won't badmouth the championship that Cleveland has that fans seem to have forgotten about. And you remember where you were
10 years ago. I certainly remember where I was.
And, but there's so much
in the morning,
but little things. It's like John Kenzie Noel coming up to the plate, in the ninth inning against the Yankees in game 3 of the AL Championship Series. And he's had 16 professional at bats and 15 outs and 1 hit. The 1 hit was a home run. He steps up to the plate with 2 men out, and he's there. There's nothing left. The fans are like, oh God, we're done. And he parks a home run in the left field. I mean, just clobbers the thing. And then you're watching the same game, and then it happens again in the 10th inning with David Fry hitting it over the left field wall, and the Guardians beat the dreaded Yankees. It you can see what Parmjad's saying. Yeah, that's right. You couldn't. I mean, if you were a real fan, you couldn't breathe in the end of that game, because it was like you could see both the Warriors and the Cavaliers just worn out. I mean, they had given everything. It was game 7. And how many times have you seen Steph Curry throw up a 3 and it just clanks off the backboard without hitting the rim? I mean, or how many times have you seen LeBron James in the lane come up short because his legs were lacking spring? How many times did we miss balls, shots in the lane? And the one shot you remember, and it's the reason why I'm not going to sit there and badmouth Kyrie Irving for as goofy as he became. And I don't agree with his philosophical views on life or on teamwork or anything like that. But he hit the shot, the 3, on a set play by Ty Lue that put us in the lead. And then it was the great defense down the stretch. And, it's something that stays with you.
Well, I'm going to go all the way back to when it was the Cleveland Indians, and I think the most iconic thing I remember, and I was listening to it live over the internet way back in 1995 when Tony Pena hit that home run over the boot, right?
The
Tony
crazy way he
fucking
rounded the
Pena.
bases.
Yeah, well, I couldn't see it. I never actually saw the home run
Oh
until
my
like
God.
ages later.
That was in
Yeah,
Fenway,
I
wasn't
heard
it?
that. Yeah, I believe it was.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
crazy going around the base. He's like a crazy man. I mean,
1990. That was 30 fucking years ago, man.
I still have an indelible imprint of that in my head because it's like, of all people, Tony Pena was the last guy that you would think was going to hit it out of the park. But
Well, back in the day, I would just sort of like reminisce about me every now and then here. To listen to games before the internet here in England, you had to pick up Armed Forces radio coming out of a Remagen in Germany and have your AM radio hoisted up in a particular spot in your room and get this little like tiny signal at like 10:35 or whatever it is on the AM dial and hope that that stayed in while you're listening to these games, man. And that's how I heard that. So I remember exactly where I was, like balancing a radio, trying to hear this like playoff game. And you didn't get every game because you got whatever Armed Forces was playing. So you didn't hear every Indians game or Guardians game or Browns game or Ohio State game. You only got the really big games. And so you remembered them when you heard them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Richard, exactly. I mean, not mental depression for K-Love, not all the years he was with the Timberwolves, not all the issues that he had to live through. In that moment, there
was
was
a young
nothing
kid.
else. It
Yeah.
wasn't about money. It wasn't about contracts. It was, I mean, he moved his feet as good as he could, as close to being Barishnikov as he could be, and stayed with him and forced the miss that led to the championship. Everybody had this role in the thing that unfolded.
Well, the other thing I'll
And
bring up about that is that LeBron was like knocked to the ground like 30 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. And it was like, oh my God, is he dead? Is he injured? And he managed to get up and then did that chase down block. But
yeah, I
there
mean,
was a period of time you thought LeBron was dead on the ground. Yeah.
and the block was I mean, something that was studied from a scientific perspective
Oh, yeah.
of
That's
how
like the
fast
first
he was.
AWS thing that they ever did, I think.
Yeah, I mean, how fast he ran in that quadrant of space was remarkable, considering that it was the tail end of a game and he was gassed. But in that moment, watching Bob Beamon jump 2 feet further than any other man ever long
I
jumped
remember
before.
watching that.
I mean,
Yeah.
somebody living in a moment, and quite honestly, there's no money in it for Bob Beamon, and it took 25 years or whatever for somebody to catch up to that length and breaking that length. But with the adrenaline that ran through him in that moment, it was that singular thing that had nothing to do about money, contracts, or this is going to give me leverage with management, or all the things that we talk about today in sports. And today, I'd like to tell you that my disillusionment is not with the purity of sports. It's the corruption of sports that bothers me more than anything else. And something has come up today that has truly pissed me off in a way that I have never been so alienated in my life. I can honestly say that the NBA, and you know what I think about the NFL.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the Bears moving to Indiana.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that's what you were going to talk about. I think
that's just another brick in the wall. I mean,
and they're building a dome. I mean,
the Northern Indiana Bears.
How many fucking shitty domes are there going to be in these northern states, and they'll totally ruin the character of NFL football by all of it being played inside these shopping malls. It's bullshit.
If you don't know who Matt Ishbia is, he's the owner of the Phoenix Suns. And I've always said to myself, owners, should just revel in the good job that they do, but keep their fucking mouths shut. You hire public relations people, you hire people to draft the right players, to hire head coaches. And Matt Ishbia knows nothing about professional basketball. He bought the Suns in 2023. It was accepted in February of 2023 by the league. And he has hurt the organization. He has made shitty decisions. And I'll go into that in just a minute. But what he said today is, to me, the end of the NBA.
Oh, no.
Absolute end. If he isn't in some way dealt with, and how many others of the owners feel this way? He was responding to a Yahoo Sports story about tanking, and this is a big thing now in the NBA. Yep. And this is what Ishbia wrote, the owner of the Suns. This is ridiculous. Tanking is losing behavior done by losers. Purposely losing is something nobody should want to be associated with. Embarrassing for the league and for the organizations. And the talk about this as being a strategy is ridiculous. If you're a bad team, you get a good pick. That makes sense. But purposely shutting down players and purposely losing games is a disgrace and impacts the integrity of the whole league. All right. Now, so far, it's like,
good.
All right. I mean, I can handle this. But it's what he says beyond that is that the idea of tanking is worse than any prop bet scandal.
He had that beautiful thing, and then he went and ruined it, Wow.
The entire integrity of the sport. He says that a prop bet scandal in the NBA is fine compared to tanking.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
Here's what I can tell you about this rat bastard, okay? He inherited his father's business. UWM's mortgage company. Interestingly enough, same business that Dan Gilbert's in.
Yeah, mortgage company. Basically usury for you folks out there that, know your Bible.
And he got involved as the CEO, replacing his daddy in 2013. And by 2015, his company became the wholesale mortgage lender, the leading one in the United States. And in 2019, he, of course, wrote a book. They all write a book.
Well,
Running the Corporate Offense, Lessons in Effective Leadership from the Bench to the Boardroom.
Oh, God. What a wanker.
No, wait a minute. He became a billionaire in 2021. As soon as they put it out as a publicly traded company.
Yeah, yes, they do.
And what did he do? The first thing he did is he went to his clients and said his company would no longer do business with any broker doing business with Rocket Mortgage and Fairway Independent Mortgage, leading to a lawsuit. So basically, his strategy and leadership from the bench to the boardroom was just throwing his fucking money bag weight around and forcing clients to stop dealing with companies like Rocket Mortgage.
Basically, he was shitting on all the independent brokers that he made money off of.
Exactly. Leverage.
What a, oh, man.
Now, I mean, this only gets worse, folks. And you deserve to know this, because what's happening behind the scenes, it it ruins things. You're sitting there watching the outcomes of games, and you get this rush sometimes when it transcends all this pettiness and this selfishness, but then it comes back and splats you right in the face. In 2021, Ishbia and his brother bought a small stake in the Chicago White Sox. Interestingly enough, the purchase was not reported until 4 years later. In December of 2022, Ishbia's bid was accepted to purchase the Phoenix Suns and the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury basketball teams for $4 billion for 57% majority ownership of the Phoenix Suns. All right. The NBA approved the deal February 6, 2023. One person abstained from voting, Dan Gilbert, because he knew what a cocksucker this guy really was. And believe me, Dan Gilbert is not somebody you want to cross.
Yeah.
Take my word for it.
We don't need to say anything about Dan Gilbert, really.
No. I mean,
Yeah, we get it.
If you don't remember 2023, during the Game 4 of the playoff series against the Nuggets, Ishbia was involved in an altercation with Jokic. During the game, the Suns player, he crashed into a Suns player, Josh Okogie. He crashed into the stands, right, while trying to save a loose ball. Right. He landed in a group of fans on the baseline that included Ishbia, who grabbed the basketball. What is he doing? Grabbing the basketball? Does he think he's...
Now I remember that.
Yep. Jokic is trying to get the fucking ball inbounded and grabs it, and he's fighting with Jokic.
What a dick.
Ishbia gets knocked down backwards by Jokic's elbow, and they assess the technical foul on Jokic.
Wow.
And he was fined $25,000.
Yeah, I remember that now. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So his net worth as of 2024 was $10.1 billion.
Less, All
right.
10 point.
And there's all kinds of things that it's all money for this guy. I mean, he donated money to, yes, the Michigan State University. He gave them literally $14 million to retain Mel Tucker as the head coach.
Well, that's chump change when you got $10 billion now.
Yeah, but everything was denied until it finally came out in records that that's what he'd done. So this guy is equating cheating the outcome of games as being worse than a team trying to find their only path to becoming at all meaningful by hoping and praying in the draft.
Well, can I give you a rest here and say that the way to stop tanking is to stop the fact that the worst teams get the first draft pick and just make it a full lottery for every team in each of the leagues. Instead of the worst team, you got if there's 30 teams in the league, you got a 1 in 30 chance of getting the top pick. And that would make fucking draft days exciting as hell, because you would not know who would be getting those top picks, and that would stop tanking in its tracks. And I would love to see that happen, because actually giving the worst team the fucking first draft pick is socialism, isn't it? You're trying to prop up somebody who didn't earn anything. You're giving them free stuff.
But let me play counterweight on this, okay? If you're a team that is a traditionally lesser thought of team, and you can't get a fucking call because the officials are told to favor certain star players, certain star teams, and we've watched it over and over again. Fuck prop bets. The goddamn league is fixed. The goddamn officials are calling things on some players. They're letting guys like SGA walk 6 steps. They're calling it a good move. They don't call traveling against star players. They don't call offensive fouls against star players. There are players in the league whose only separation move is throwing their arm off. And you know that even though he's not playing for
Oh,
the
they
Celtics,
actually
not now.
called a foul on James Harden last night, but it meant nothing because it was like 35-point lead for the Cavs, and then
If
and
players are
Kenny,
exempt from
yeah,
the rules that that other players are not exempt
correct.
from, it just becomes obvious. I
No,
don't know
there's
how
not
many.
equal treatment under the law, man. I mean, if we see that in sports, we see that in society. You know?
Yeah, and who's Tatum, the guy on the Celtics? Oh my
Oh,
God, he
yeah,
just uses his forearm and pushes people out of the way. I
yeah.
have seen people who have 3 pivot feet on one play, and they were allowed to do it. And it's like, what the fuck is this? And if you're like me, and it's like, look, the Cavaliers aren't going to win. The Cavaliers aren't going to win. But I mean, you can't just rip them off. You just can't start making shit up. I mean, what do you say to your team when you go to the line 8 times in the game and the other team goes 37 times to the free throw line? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
The outcome is already predetermined. So I don't know what Matt Ishbia is talking about. The league's already fixed. Fuck the prop bet nonsense. It's already predetermined what teams they want to get into the championship game.
Correct.
And take a look at what Matt Ishbia has done for this team. All right. This is what happens to real organizations. And we'll go back to 2013, 2014. The Suns were 39-43. Then the next year they were 23-59 and 24-58. They hit a bottom by going 21-61 and 19-63 in 2019.
Wow.
But they started building 34-39 in 2019, and then 51-21. And then in 2021, 2022, 64-18. And you're saying, well, that's not bad. And then in 2022, 2023, 45-37. Then Matt Ishbia comes along, and it's 36-46. And this year they're 32-24. But you know what he's done?
What's he done?
He has destroyed the future of the franchise. They're done. They're finished. They'll never be a good team. Within my scope of watching this league, they're never going to be nothing. He's given away his first round picks all the way to 2033.
Cool.
7 years that he has given up his first round pick. No matter where it fell, he gave it away. And why did he give it away? He wanted Kevin Durant.
Wow.
So here's what I want to say and make it real concise. Money is one thing. It compounds, and the more you've got it, the more it compounds and the more you make. But throwing money at things is not good business sense. It's what a weak-minded idiot does because he acquired everything in his fucking life and was just in on the right time and the right place. And he did anything he could. And if you read the stories of what he did to Rocket Mortgage, you'd know why Dan Gilbert won't even speak to the guy anymore.
Well, yeah, all these mortgage companies sort of came out of the great savings and loan scandal from 30 some years ago. And then all the rules got changed by Clinton, Bush, and all that. So these companies have a license to literally print money. They're never going to fail. So,
I mean, and I guess the way that I look at this is he thought that he could just become the majority owner of the Phoenix Suns. And he's up here moralizing about how prop bets are better than tanking. This guy is tanking and doesn't even realize it. He's so fucking stupid.
yeah.
He's given up his future. He's mortgaged, and that's a good word, his future. What a moron. I mean, they're never going to be anything. It's fucking 7 years. How do you do such a thing? And for old men who can't play anymore? And this is the guy who's moralizing. This is what kills sports. It's what kills sports. In every league that we have that we watch, it's the same fucking thing. Are you going to cheer for the Dodgers and their $600 million payroll? You going to cheer for that? They throw money at it. And you know something? If they throw more money than God at a player who ends up being a complete stiff, they don't care, because if he only has 1 or 2 good years left in him, if they squeeze that out, there's plenty more where that came from, money-wise, to offer the next person a big contract. And so it goes.
Yep. That's true over here too. And we've got far too many American owners of English soccer teams over here, and they do the same thing with players here. So
I for the life of me, it's like you want to be a fan, but they're doing so many things, and
to fuck you over. Yeah.
it's not even just to fuck. It's to pleasure themselves. It's like they're just giving themselves nonstop blowjobs, and it won't quit. And they're not. He's never going to win. He's never going to win anything. And he's talking about, oh, it's dishonest for them to want to lose games so they can get a top pick. This guy gives his picks away.
Yeah, well, that's probably why he thinks he can be bitter about it, because he gave them away. But
anyway, if you don't believe me, the two minority owners, there were 12 minority owners in the original deal. 10 of them walked away because they have nothing to do with Matt Ishbia. All right. 2 decided to stay, and they are suing that son of a bitch. And here's the quote from as far as the lawsuit was concerned. Ishbia does not own the Suns to make money for the company, but he does operate it as a personal fiefdom for his own personal gain and for the benefit of his other businesses, including his mortgage company, United Wholesale Mortgage. The reality is that Ishbia is using the Suns as his personal piggy bank, including through a lengthy list of conflicted transactions, only some of which the minority owners were even aware of.
Yeah, because they're cheaters, and they're getting cheated themselves. These.
But he's got the leverage.
Yeah.
And to make this worse, his first year as the owner, they didn't have a first round pick at all. In 2024, they selected Ryan Dunn.
Who?
That's right. 2025 to 2031, due to trades for Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. Can you believe this?
Bradley Beal. God, I saw him play.
Bradley Beal. The Suns have very limited control of their own first-round picks. A 2031 pick swap trade in January of 2025, the Suns traded their 2031 first-round pick to the Utah Jazz as part of a deal to acquire 3 separate first-round picks, the lesser of the Cavs Wolves in 2025, the lesser of the Cavs Wolves in 2027, and then, but they gave it away anyway. They have nothing. So the fans have nothing to look forward to. And this is a guy who owns their team, and he's being holier than thou.
Yeah.
And again, the Suns traded away picks in 2023 as soon as he showed up. That's the first thing that he did. And then in the 2025 draft, the last pick that he had that was a first-round pick, they held the 10th pick. Kamen Maluak.
Great name.
If you haven't heard of him,
I've never heard of him. No.
7'1" guy who averaged 1 point a game.
Wow.
Here's the AI overview from all of our friends in Google. If they hadn't traded away their own first-round picks, they could have added players with high upside in the 2024-2025 drafts. And this is the guy who's saying what teams should or shouldn't do to try to prepare for the draft. Fuck this. Why doesn't he just go fuck himself? Good God almighty.
Thank you. Oh, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, they also drafted Cedric Coward, which is not exactly a good name to begin with.
Oh, is that like a relation to Kevin Coward or no, the wrong? I don't know.
He belonged
Uh,
to the cow herd.
well, all I gotta say is, if you want to watch real sport, the gold medal curling match between Great Britain and I believe it's Canada is on tomorrow.
Oh, with a double tap. They're
Yeah,
still.
yeah. We're the Great Britain. Curling started in Scotland, by the way. It's the national sport, well, at least national winter sport in Scotland. So,
You know something, Amsterdam? I met Isaac Paredes too. He sucks. The guy absolutely sucks. What are you mentioning in this on my program for? Why doesn't he just go fuck himself? All right. It was Tampa. It was Tampa Bay. So
yeah, you're allowed to say that, Dwayne Stat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but and Amsterdam reporting that the men's hockey team just croaked
Croatia. Yeah. They actually beat Slovakia 6-2. I was watching a bit.
Oh, Slovakia, Croatia. What is Amsterdam now?
I mean, when you're beating these countries that didn't fucking exist 40 years ago, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But the Olympics was absolutely crazy because we get live feeds here because it's the BBC. But anyway, they showed that men's half pipe skiing freestyle thing where they go up the pipe and they spin around 5 times and then they land. This fucker from America.
Oh, somebody got crushed, I heard.
Oh, yeah, this fucker from America. He's like coming near the end of it and he spins around and he fucking hits the edge of it on his ribs and then just kind of crumples down to the bottom of the pipe. And everybody thinks he's like dead. And then they fucking rush out, and then he gets up, stands up, and then about 10 minutes later says, "Oh, I'm gonna be back in 4 years' time." But I mean, it looked horrific. But then the worst thing I saw today was they were doing that short track speed skating, where they're just going around a normal sized ice rink, and they got 6 chicks trying to like win these races.
It's like roller derby on
it's exactly like roller derby. Some girl slips, and then the girl next to her slips as well, and the skate of the one girl knocks the visor off of the other one that's on the outside and cuts her in the face, and it looks like it hits her in the eye, but it didn't. But
by the grace of God,
everybody thought like she was gonna like just had her eye poked out. I mean, it was like I think it may have been a Dutch girl that got hit in a Polish girl that got hit in the face and the blood gushing off. So then they're complaining about, it's going to take 20 minutes to delay this, and it's going to make all the other races because they had to do like the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals all in this like 2-hour period. So all these other races were like going, I got to race this, it's a nightmare. But if you're a parent watching these Winter Olympics, how do you do that? Because every sport is like, you could get killed. I mean, even in the fucking ice skating, if you're doing a quadruple axel,
you're gonna just break bones. Sure,
you're gonna.
It would be better to have the coverage instead of this real, nice, calm, classy NBC and Peacock thing that they have going on. It would be so much better. ABC Wide World of Sports. I'm Howard Cole. Right there. She's bleeding from her eye. I don't think she's going to be getting up anytime soon.
It's just fucking. I mean, the Winter Olympics has got to be more dangerous than boxing. It's only curling that's the only sport that you can't get killed playing. But even somebody can trip over the stones.
You can cheat.
That. Yeah, you can cheat in that. But I have never seen like a half hour like it. It was just unbelievable.
And the Cleveland Browns, if you're living in a cave, the new defensive coordinator, Mike Ruttenberg. What he did is he took the two guys, Jason Tarver and Ephraim Banda, the two guys who were also vying for the defensive coordinator position, who were already with the Browns. They promoted both of those guys. So that way, the lineage of the background of the defensive scheme will be moved forward, and Ruttenberg can do his thing and add his special recipe to all of that. So good thing that the Browns did that, because and the only one who didn't get promoted, of course, was Jim Schwartz, and God bless him. I hope he does
Yeah,
well
I
wherever he
hope he has
goes.
nice. I got an idea to actually help out the Olympic movement here. Yeah, here I am complaining about these Winter Olympics and how dangerous they are, and how they make up events for no reason. Like they got one person bobsleds now. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, what they could do is they could move some indoor sports from the Summer Olympics and have them in the Winter Olympics. And I think basketball played during the Winter Olympics would actually showcase that far more than having it all crammed into the Summer Olympics with all these other thousands of sports.
Could you imagine
And,
if they played the basketball on ice?
well, that's true too. They could, that's a bit like what ice hockey is anyway. But yeah, if they played it, they could play it during the season in February, give the players a break, and then and that would be, I think that would really, people would watch that. So if anybody out there, Adam Silver out there listening to this right now, suggest moving to the Winter Olympics, and you'd get more of a showcase. And they could put boxing on there too. Boxing gets forgotten now in the Summer Olympics.
Down goes Frazier.
He's
on the ice. He can't get up.
He can't get up. But yeah, there's all these like indoor sports that are played this time of year. That why not? Why not? I think the Summer Olympics is top heavy compared to the Winter Olympics.
Well, I mean, and it has a little bit more of a variety of things. I mean, if you're into snow and ice, then you're good. The thing I never got was the luge.
Oh, that they got crazy ones now. They're called the skeleton, where it's like this tiny. You're like two blades that you're going down on. Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I mean, I just watching a guy laying there still, and it's like he's going to be paralyzed in a matter of minutes. It's not real. That's it's like, wow, they're going really fucking fast, but I don't quite get that.
Oh, well, there was I forget which, it may have been the American team, but the American girl bobsled team, they had this like Olympic sprinter as the back person, and
Right.
they didn't time their
The musher.
jump into the cabin just right, and they
Right.
ran straight into the edge of the takeoff thing, like 100 yards down the slope. And
It was over before it began.
oh god, yeah, it like knocked off like 3/4 of a second off of their time. So
So that was that.
yeah.
If you're watching the Cavaliers tonight, good for you.
I am.
They're playing the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. If you're wondering about the injury situation, Naquan Tomlin is a game time decision. He's done a little damage to his calf, obviously in practices.
Not his calf.
Yep, but in practices and preparing with some of the new guys.
Hopefully you won't snap an Achilles tendon.
Evan Mobley is out for rest, and the reason is it's starting yesterday. It's going to be 5 games in 7 nights for the Cavaliers, and Evan is still coming off that calf muscle, so they're not going to play him. And you'll probably see Evan play the next game and Jarrett get time off. They're going to do what they can to try to rest players as best they can. And of course, Max Strus has had his foot amputated, and he's not.
Oh, well, I heard that. I was listening to WMMS or whoever does the games. They interviewed the coach, and he said that Strus is coming back at some point.
Yeah, he actually ran through a non-contact series of drills, but I mean, this is such a bitch. The Jones fracture is one of the most difficult things.
Your old Liz Frank and Anne Frank and all that. The Anne Frank injury is even worse.
That is true. It's like this broken bone, but it's stuck in an attic.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to say about Charlotte. Charlotte also played last night. and
Lost.
they had some horrific shooting. I mean, whatever Bell is out there, LaMelo, Carmelo Ball, he went one
LaMelo,
for
yeah.
six, 1 for 6 from 3 point, and Miller went 1 for 12 from 3 points. So they didn't look too good against the Houston Rockets yesterday. So where they snap out of it, I don't know. But
Well, I mean, but Grant Williams is out for rest. Liam McNeely is out with an ankle. Kobe White, their guard, is out with a calf. Musa Diabate is out because of
oh
suspension. He
yeah,
was
they
part of
had
that
that
fight.
fight with the Pistons. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Miles Bridges is also out because of the suspension. So,
We should win this, but
well,
yeah,
you
we
know,
should.
I don't. We should. I never. You never want to
We
go into a game
should.
thinking that way, though, because you curse
Yeah, we
people.
should. Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking
but
of curses, what about the black cow of death that you waved around the other day?
oh, well, he's killing people like I said he would. I mean, guy from
Reggie
what show was it? The guy who just
Grey's Anatomy,
Grey's
Dabney
Anatomy guy.
Coleman, and yeah, Grey's Anatomy
Yeah,
guy,
Dabney Coleman is dead.
and Reggie Jackson or Jesse Jackson,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah. The Black Cow of
Andrew
Death is not
Jackson.
done yet. I'm not showing him again.
You're not
I
showing him.
I keep telling people, and it's people, and you never know. He
never
will
know.
focus on it's like showbiz.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
on showbiz
peers at
guys at the moment. Yeah, I think Dick Van Dyke is definitely worried. So
Don't wish that on him.
yeah, I won't.
God, I mean, better the ottoman that he trips over than the Black Cow of Death. Now, the other thing about this game is LaMelo Ball, who got into a car accident just a couple days ago, and there was video of it from a cam, and he ran into the other car. He crossed over the lane. No one's discussing what the circumstances was, but I'm telling you, the father was an asshole. In the time in Cleveland,
Lonzo
showed nothing in Cleveland and never showed me any real desire that he wanted to play. And LaMelo is a chucker. I mean, he'll throw the ball up from anywhere. And who knows? But it'll be interesting because until this last loss, they lost by, I think, 4 points? Is that to Houston?
105-101.
Yeah, and but they were the hottest team going into the break. So
now Cleveland is, I believe.
Yeah, all good things eventually come to an end. The fact is, Charlotte shoots. They were a good rebounding team, but Diabate was their top rebounder, and he's not going to be playing. And field goal percentage, the Cavs are a slightly better shooting team, but the Hornets have averaged like 115 points a game. The Cavaliers about 119, almost 120 a game. So if normal people were playing, it would be a higher scoring game. Watching the Cavaliers last night, you want to talk about tanking?
That fourth quarter was such it looked worse than the high school game. That fourth quarter. I mean,
I mean what kind of a lineup? What kind of a lineup were they fielding out there? It was they were down by 43 points. I mean, it was like not a good thing at all. But it was fun to watch. And like I started the program saying, that one thing that you see, the pass to Harden from 3/4. Well, it was actually from inside the half court line. And this long lob pass, it looked like he threw it into the stands, and Donovan comes up with one hand and it just windmills it in.
Keon Ellis had like some of the great plays of the game.
Yes.
I don't know. Did you see that flying block from out of nowhere where he
got hops
at 3-point?
I don't like his shot yet. His shot doesn't look like he's settled in.
Let me look and see how he did yesterday.
Yeah, he made 1 3 and he missed 3, I believe. But it doesn't look. It looks flat, and it looks like he kind of twisted off to the side, a little side spin on it. But he's,
Yep, he 1 of 4 from 3-point.
Yeah.
He, 20 minutes, 7 points.
but he's an energy player, and that's something that you need too. What I want to say about the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially having talked about Matt Ishbia as I did, of the mortgage guys who own basketball teams, give it up for Dan Gilbert. It could,
Yes.
This guy, we've gone through the thick and thin, and if you've watched this team for as long as I've watched them, coming out of the Ted Stepien era, then into the Gordon Gund era, and then into the Mike Fratello, period of time, pre-LeBron, where
Ricky Davis and all that.
God, I mean,
make it stop.
And then the hope of LeBron being there, but LeBron playing his ass off, but with Danielle Marshall, hot buttered Donnie, and playing with Eric Snow, who moved like a pillar of salt.
He played with some awful players that first time around.
Yeah,
and he was the best player on the court, and he was 18 fucking years old.
Yeah.
But going back 23 years, do you think that lottery thing was fixed, that Cleveland got LeBron? Do you think it was fixed?
I've seen a lot of things that I thought were really unusual. The fact that we seemingly kept landing on our feet after we'd lose LeBron, and there was some fortuitous, Dan Gilbert's son, may he rest in peace.
Oh yeah, it was all down to the bow tie. And
what's not to like? And hitting the home run, getting the pick, and being able to replenish and getting Kyrie Irving and getting players that were substantial players. But that's the way, Dan Gilbert has kept the Cavaliers relevant. And I know
he's easily the best owner in Cleveland sports history. I want to go that far and say that. I wouldn't have probably said that a few years ago, but I will now.
And fans get upset and disappointed because it's all about the final outcome, or what they gambled on and lost money on, or whatever it is that fans are narrow-minded about. But again, all you can ask for if you're paying to watch on a pay stream, or if you're attending the games, is that a team puts out hard effort, and that the ownership of the team is really trying, unlike the Cleveland Guardians, is really trying to bring in some players that will make a difference. And a lot of fans were ripping the Cavaliers about the Darius Garland thing, and we do not know how that's going to play out because we haven't seen Darius Garland play. And I hope Darius Garland is okay, but even if he plays his ass off, he's playing on a team that has no players now with the Clippers, and that's going to be hard for him. But
okay, I've just gone back to 2003, 2004 Cavaliers. Who was the head coach? That's a good trivia question. LeBron's first year.
LeBron's first year in Cleveland, it was Paul Silas.
Jim Paxson was president and general manager. The owner was Gordon Gund III.
Yep.
So, and the television was on
UAB TV 43. That's right.
And the other guy drafted with LeBron was Jason Capono.
I forgot about him.
Jason Capono.
Didn't everybody forget about him?
Oh, the guys that he first played with, Dejana Jop, Ira Newble, Jawan Wagner, Kendrick Brown, Carlos Boozer. That's when Boozer was
the mystery man, yeah.
Wow. That was and obviously Big Z.
Wow. Jop was some piece of work, man. He was he could never develop any offense, and it wasn't a
pretty team to watch.
Not at all, but they still
they were 35 and 47.
That's right, and but they built from there. And the key is you're going to have down periods of time, but if it's like the Wizards and it's gone too long, you can't go 6-7 years of like saying, like if you're at Sacramento Kings, would be like, God, you remember the good old days when we had Vlade Deep and what was his name? Vlade Divac. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty sorrowful when you stop and think about it. So it could be a whole lot worse. But, you're going to have downtimes, you're going to have uptimes. Good management makes good decisions. And that's why the Browns have sucked ever since Jimmy Haslam's been here, because he doesn't make good decisions. And Matt Ishbia doesn't make good decisions for the Suns. All the money in the world, it doesn't matter. A doofotch is a doofotch, and he'll find a way to fuck up. That's what it amounts to. Game is on tonight. I believe it's 7 or 7:30.
It's an early one. I think it's 6:30.
Are you sure that's not just the pregame?
Oh no! No. It is
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yes, 7 p.m.
Yep. So
I just called up the top 5 Sacramento Kings of all time, and I think they were pretty much all on the Cincinnati Royals. looking at this, Oscar Robertson. Then there was Chris Webber, Mitch Richmond, Tiny Archibald, and Sam Lacey.
Ooh, that's going back.
That is all going back a long old way. But yeah.
And the Pistons beat the Knicks in New York. How's that for coming out of the break? What a bitch slap. What a bitch slap. And it wasn't really close at all.
Beaten them. I don't think the Knicks have beaten them this year.
That's because they can out physical the Knicks. The Knicks aren't the same team. Cade Cunningham had 42 points in that game. So the Pistons are proving themselves as the real deal. And we are now tied with the Knicks for third. So,
well, I mean, that game last night and the other 2 games with James Harden, we now actually look like a viable Eastern Conference contender now. I'm no longer going to sit here and say that we're destined for the play-in. We actually look like a proper team now.
Things happen in a blink of an eye. Injuries can happen. Who knows? Yep. But, yeah, I would agree with you that the Cavaliers are a better team right now because part of it, interestingly enough, has to do with injuries. And the fact that, and it's harder for Jalen Tyson now to score points because we've got the beard and we've got Donovan Mitchell and we've got the gunslingers like Sam Merrill. And, he's not going to be the number one go-to guy, but he's gotten seasoning and experience. And I'm not afraid if Jalen Tyson is left open that he's going to knock down the 3. And, a lot of these players have gotten more exposure and opportunities to play. Guys like Naquan Tomlin, who, again, he's just an energy guy. The only person who's failed is CPJ, which is
he's
interesting. He's regressed. Yep.
He played 17 minutes last night, and he was 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, and a -14.
He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, and he's unsure about shooting the ball. And all of the good things that he was doing instinctively, it's like he's thinking way too much out there. But, this has given a lot of depth to this Cavalier team.
Oh, and unreal, man. I mean, James Harden played the most minutes last night, 28. Jared Allen played 24. And then Tyson off the bench and Merrill off the bench played 23 and 22.
Yep.
And that was the most minutes of the Cavs last night. And you can't argue with that. I mean, if they were able to do that for half of the upcoming games, we're going to be fresh come May.
Here's the only thing that I question. And what we ran into with the Pacers last year and what you're going to run into if you should get so far to get to OKC is the pressure. And the question is, can Schroeder bring the ball up the court in his necessary minutes that he has to play? And can and realistically, can Harden, in that ramped up, warped up, speed wise pace, what will the Cavaliers wind up looking like?
Well, Richard in the chat's making a point that I was about to make. When Harden's on the floor, he seems to get double teamed and he frees up the fuckers down in the post, man, so that who's ever down there, Mobley or Dean Wade or Allen, they've got more room to operate in because there's the defense is coming further out the court, and when Harden spots those passes, there's nobody there to stop Allen from walking into the basket and stuffing it down. And that never happened because everybody collapsed on Garland. They'd let him have the ball, and then he'd move in closer to the basket, and then he'd get ass raped, and there'd be no room for him to pass to the bigs because it would be all congested. So the spacing in the team, and it just looks like real basketball now.
Well, and I don't kick people when they're down. Darius is obviously
he's hurt. He's hurt. I mean,
but it's more than that. It's more
big, and he's not doesn't have desire. And
it's even more than that. It's that we see that when Harden and Mitchell play together, that Mitchell and Garland weren't.
Yeah, well, you see that there's respect between Harden and Mitchell.
Yes,
and vice versa, respect between Mitchell and Harden and Mitchell. They trust each other. Like, you can already see that they trust each other.
And my rap on Darius Garland was, if you're going to play the point and your game is predicated strictly on first step and speed, if you have foot injuries, you're fucked. If you don't build up strength, you have no go-to afterwards. There's nothing you can go to. The problem, and I think you pointed it out real well, is that Darius held onto the ball too long.
Correct.
The thing with when he was quicker, he could get to the rim, but he was never a huge finisher. But one thing he couldn't do, when he would start going down into the paint, he'd get hung up.
He'd get killed. He'd get absolutely ass raped.
Or go up and he couldn't shoot it because the big man was right on top of him.
Yeah.
Harden has more body mass, but what he also has is this up here.
Oh, he is so much smarter on the court than any point guard I've seen in a Cleveland uniform.
Real slick. And he gets into that paint, and in the split second that the big man comes out to stop him, he just throws underneath the Jared Allen. It's either a lob or into him, and bam, slam dunk. And it's over and over, rinse and repeat.
You need to do Dickie V or Tommy Heinsohn describing that. You're like, oh, baby.
Oh, baby, I'll tell you something. Every time that guy, he goes past the foul line, and somebody comes running at him with a moving van, baby, and he just throws that ball up in the air. And there's two different guys going up at the same time to dunk it.
Boom.
Yeah, it's it is. It's like watching an artisan at work.
Better to watch. I mean, I'm now excited to watch games, but like 2 months ago, I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to stay up and watch this shit.
But the one thing that's certain about sports, everything that goes up comes down, and it's how you handle adversity that really determines what your future is. And that's the thing. I mean, everything's fresh and new. It's just like when you first start going out with a new person and dating a new person, and there is just no flaws, no faults. And then the more you get to know people and the more they get to know you, it's like nitpicking. Nitpicking sets in, and it's not like everyone I ever went out with woke up one day and said, God, you're fat. They knew that from the beginning, but
that straight away.
But there's other things that, not so good.
Some people can hide their red flags better than others.
Again, Darius Garland is a good basketball player, but you could see that he could be pushed around.
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between a moderate level all-star to a fucking Hall of Famer.
What Cleveland did is they traded for players. Keon Ellis is a workman. He's a guy who's just going to really give you hard work minutes. But with Harden, he's 36 years old, but the league has a history of giving him calls. Let's be honest about this.
True.
And if he goes into the paint and if somebody starts going up and pushing on him, and if they do what they did for other teams that he played for, he's going to be going to the free throw line 10 to 12 times a game.
Well, his pump fake just kills anybody that's a rookie because they always call it on the rookie. They don't call it against Harden as an offensive foul. They always call it against whoever's guarding him.
Yeah, and he does the Fred Flintstone little tippy toe behind the 3-point line, and guys slap at his elbow. And if a molecule so much as touches him, whistle blows. Yeah, but if they call that the same way that they have in his career, that he's going to go to the free throw line 10 to 12 times, and he's like an 85, 88% free throw shooter. I mean, that's like putting 10 points on the board. Boom.
The thing is, he only had 2 free throws last night. Jared Allen, on the other hand, only made 5 of 10 to free throws.
Yeah, he was a little bit off that way. But, again, it's adversity, and if the Cavaliers get into the playoffs, which is all you can ask, is just to get into the dance and just get everything smoothed out and worked out, then it's going to come down to, if it's not the Knicks, it's going to be the Pistons, or if it's not the Pistons, it's going to be the Celtics. You're going to have to win
against a decent team
on their floor. On their floor.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. And the fans will take on, if it doesn't work. Oh, it's the same old Cavaliers, and they just fell apart, And this is where
there's only one team that can win a championship every fucking year. So all these people say, "Oh, our team fell apart." Well, go fuck yourselves, because there's only ever going to be one winner. They don't give silver medals and bronze medals in NBA basketball. So
yeah, anyway. It'll be a fun watch tonight, 7:00, and I hope the Cavaliers. Again, they came out real hard last night and got up that lead, but they're going to need a little more energy playing on the road here. It's going to be a little tricky.
I think it's Cavs win today.
Oh, I sure as hell hope so. I mean,
like an easy, non-traumatic win.
These are the games you have to win, because what's coming up when you're playing the Pistons, or you're playing
Sunday, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
So
you're going in a series of games in a compacted period of time, and you're playing some really good teams in the mix. So, but that's part of what you want. You want to see this team mature together here and go through a little bit of adversity and get better. That's what it is. And Richard is saying that OKC will be missing their 2 big guns. What is the story? OKC's biggest gun is SGA. What are you suggesting here, Richard?
I don't know what he's referring
to. Is SGA not playing?
Well, I think one of the Jay Williamses are not playing, or
and the guy who hurts Cleveland is Lou Dort, because he defends Donovan Mitchell, Oh, he's out for 2 weeks. Oh, and Williams. Okay.
Yeah, Williams. One of the Williams.
Yeah. That's right. I do remember reading SGA is out for allegedly for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, we played against depleted Pacer teams that beat our ass. So, there you go.
On their floor. Nothing's easy. Are we playing them in OKC, or is it in Cleveland?
I believe it's away, but I don't want to be held responsible.
Well, Richard will know.
Wrong.
Richard will know in the chat room.
He'll know. He'll tell us.
So, Richard, is it on the road or is it at home?
It's an early game. It's like a early game here.
Yeah, it is in OKC. That's what I thought. And that's going to be a nationally televised game.
Yeah, it's a 1 p.m. game.
Is that a Peacock game?
Well, it's got to be somebody. I mean, it's the only game at that time, I believe.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to get out of here and do my thing. And Bronk, always thank you for joining us. And, it was great. It's wonderful. Thanks, Richard. And thanks to the people in the chat room. And it was also great to hear from WRX Chad, who I haven't heard from in ages.
I mean, kind of quick question. I mean, the Olympics over there in when I was there, they always showed that 2 hour highlight packet, and that was all that you saw. And it was like usually 20 hours after the shit had happened. Can you actually watch live Olympic action in America? You
You,
know,
I'm the
you
wrong
know,
person to ask that.
I mean, or do you have to like buy Peacock or whatever like that? Because we get all that shit. That's legally kept here on the BBC by laws. There are certain events like Wimbledon, the Olympics, and that cannot be sold off to these fucking privateer billionaire companies.
There you go.
And that's by law. So we get
I
the
think
live
everything's
shit.
rerun that I'm seeing. Everything is a rerun because you can see on ESPN the headlines. It's like, I
Well,
don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know.
I don't know whether they're going to show that short track girl getting fucking nearly stabbed in the eye by an ice skate, but that was just like that was freaky. But anyway,
All right, man. So everybody, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We'll be back again on Monday with the next installment of Moohead Radio, and maybe Matt Ishbia will be put in jail because he,
I mean,
Mr.
how many
Do-gooder in
owners,
his mind. What a fucker.
how many owners of pro sports need to be in jail? I mean, my God.
It's never enough. You know, the guy's net worth now is probably over 20, 30, 40 billion dollars.
Yeah, and that's off the
Never
back
enough.
of fucking poor people and their mortgages.
Yeah,
People.
unbelievable. I mean, but it's not even that. It's that he just and he's minimizing the issue of the integrity of the game
Yeah.
because he's making so much fucking money off it that way. It's really disgusting. I just don't like him. And I'm gonna keep my eye on the Phoenix Suns, and the more they lose, the more I'm gonna whip my dick out and piss on him. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Woo! They can go fuck themselves.
All of them, just every single one of them. Oh, a human pyramid. Fuck themselves. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time. Hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.
Bye.